Hey guys, so I have a really important one for you today. And so I have compiled a list of, based on not only my opinion, but actual medical literature, like what are the most important and most attractive muscles for guys to have according to women. And so we're going to break that down today. So let's get right into it. It's been a while since I've done some fitness content, so I'm starting to bring just a little bit more of that out, especially as I'm starting to get my actual summertime body back in preparation. So hopefully that's going to reflect today and you guys will appreciate it. If so, leave a thumbs up, guys. So guys, number one is going to be abs. Now, there was actually research out of Western Illinois. Apparently, I keep finding that listed, but I can't find the actual paper itself. But it said that women find abs as the number one most attractive thing. In my opinion, without a doubt, that makes the most sense. Abs are the eyes are the window to the soul. If you have abs, you're lean. And therefore, your entire body is going to be more aesthetically pleasing. And so it makes sense that abs are going to be more sought after. Now, what pisses me off, and I shouldn't say it pisses me off because it's just ignorance, but guys think that doing crunches is going to get you abs. Guys, doing crunches is not going to get you abs. Putting down the fork and getting on a treadmill is what is going to get you abs. In order for you to have visible abs, you have to get your body fat percentage down low enough. I don't give a what your ab genetics are. If you are lean enough, your abs are going to show. Even The Rock, who has the worst ab genetics that I know of anybody mainstream, when he gets peeled, you can at least still see his obliques and you can still see some contours of his abs. Because abs are so dependent upon leanness, and guys, I've said it before 1,000 times, Callie, hit him with the picture of, guys, this is the same size of pizza, but when you have a smaller plate, the same size pizza is going to look bigger. Having abs being lean is going to make your D look bigger because proportionally the rest of you is leaner. Furthermore, you don't have any fat pad. So all this stupid ass debate about bone press versus non-bone press, what matters more? It doesn't matter because you are going to have a very minimal fat pad. Just to be very clear, yes, there are certain genetics that distribute fat in certain areas, but once again, if you get lean enough, you will lose fat pad. That is just a scientific law of thermodynamics. Some of these debates that some of these people, well, no, it's actually how I started. I mean, it's just anyways.
Don't do the voice.
So the second most important, and I would actually say this is tied for number one. So Kelly, can you make this a tied for number one also, is your shoulder width, guys. Your shoulder to waist ratio, that V taper, I can't express to you how important that is. Now, the most important thing with a V taper is the waist ratio, because it doesn't matter how wide your shoulders are. If you have a really big waist, you're not going to have that V taper. So once again, guys, being lean is important. I mean, it is important for overall health. I'm not saying you need to be 10% body fat. And no, I'm not shaming anybody, guys. Love your body, but love your body enough to do something about it. I'm miserable. I'm at home. I can't get any girls. Girls don't want to talk to me. But meanwhile, you got your headset on and you're gaming and you're eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew. What are you doing, bro? Stop doing that shit, man. Get off the couch. Even turn off this video. Go out and, or, watch this video on a treadmill or something. But it is important, guys. But this was voted the number two most important thing when it came to what women appreciated in a man. The shoulder width is something that they attribute to masculinity and also better fighting skills. Now you can, whatever, quibble with me if you want in the comments, but even deep down on an evolutionary level, women are going to want a man that can be a protector, that is a more dominant man. And part of that is from their shoulder to waist ratio. Here is literally a study saying this exact same thing. It shows men that are taller, guys, you can't do much about your height. Don't go to Turkey and get a limb lengthening surgery or whatever that is. Maybe they probably don't even do those in Turkey. But the point is you can't do much about your height. But men with a high shoulder to hip ratio are viewed as more masculine and more attractive. They're even viewed to have a bigger PP. If you haven't seen my other video on that, I made a whole entire video about the proportions that women want, if you want a deeper dive into this paper, but it's very interesting. And guys, here's actually evidence here. I mean, this was a published book that showed that men that had a better shoulder to waist ratio are actually the ones getting more play, okay? And so if that's more important to you guys, that's gonna maximize your chance. And guys, number three is going to be back. So guys, back goes along with shoulder width because it's also back width, not necessarily back thickness, okay? So things like your latissimus dorsi or your lats, and also the lateral heads, because that all comes up and it all forms a V. So really these should all be tied for number one, abs, shoulders, and back. But I mean, that's literally what the data suggests as well. Here's another study here that showed just shy of 80% of women thought that back width and a sexy back was perceived as more attractive, even more so than their height or PP size. No, guys, yes, this was a study that actually showed different figures with different PP sizes. And like I've alluded to before, I made an entire video about it, but you should check that out. And for the record, my girl, without a doubt, my favorite body part for her is my back. I'm also like, my favorite day is back day. And, you know, on a man, I appreciate a nice, like everything. Oh, Hink, you're gay. How immature are you if you're going to go in the comments? I mean, like, whatever, guys. And even if I was, like, who cares? But the point is like, I can appreciate a body parts on a man. If that makes you uncomfortable the way they said that, well, you know, I'm sorry. So guys, next is going to be arms. Now, guys, the key thing with all of these things, well, with the exception of abs, is basically like, women are not looking for size necessarily. They don't want those big, like Nick Walker, like arms that are like this big with big veins popping out. No, like even in this survey here, the women want toned arms, not big arms, but toned arms where you can see actual muscle definition. Let's go, Hink, right now. Here's where my bias comes in, being a leaner guy. I can't stand like seeing guys at the gym that think they're the shit and they have these big old bellies, but they wear cutoff shirts and their arms do look big and they do have big arm muscles, but also their arms are artificially inflated because of the fat that's in their arms. I just have so much more respect for like a leaner, fitter guy rather than a guy that like thinks he's like so big and jacked and like taking up such a large space. The evidence shows that if you are looking for if you're a man looking for a heterosexual woman, that they don't want big, massive guys, and they definitely don't want fat guys. They want lean, toned guys with nice muscle definition, which is fortunate because the evidence showing that women don't want 14-inch PPs. They want just an average or slightly above average PP size. It's nice to know that you can get lean. You don't need drugs. You don't need SARMs. You don't need steroids. You don't need all of these like PEDs. If you just get lean and have decent muscle tone, like that is going to be the ideal candidate. Finally, chest. Chest is number 5. Personally, I would definitely put this at number 5. And honestly, like I would probably maybe even put things like glutes on a male or even like quads on a male as higher up there. But you know, this is partially my data and partially what the women say. But ultimately, like, you know, most of the time women are going to be looking at you like shirtless, for example, or even in a shirt. If you have a nice shelf chest when you're wearing your dress shirt or your t-shirt, whatever, like it shows out more than maybe like your quads do. Hashtag chicken leg Hink. In conclusion, women want guys like this, okay? So back in my day, there was a movie called Casino Royale, and it was Daniel Craig, and here's the scene of him getting out of the water. This was several years ago. I mean, this was shit like 20 years ago, but still, that scene set like the world on fire because they were like, oh my God, did you see Daniel Craig? He's not overly jacked. He's not even overly like defined, but he's just fit and he's toned. That is ideal. And then more recently, guys, because, you know, I am a boomer, here's this scene from Top Gun. But guys, as you can see here, like these dudes look phenomenal, but they're not overly jacked and they're not overly shredded. Like none of them, maybe a couple of them are like approaching 10% body fat. But most of these guys are just somewhere between 10 to 15% body fat, but they're toned, they have nice muscle definition, and that's what makes them so attractive. They're also like oiled up or whatever. Don't judge me, I'm just doing my thing. See you in the theater. In my opinion, that's what we should strive for. Now, you know, whatever, do you guys. You want to pull a Lizzo, you know, I love my body, I love my belly, like I love my fat. If that's what truly makes you happy, then I want you to be happy. I don't want you to hate yourself or hate your body, but I do want you to love yourself enough to do something about your body and be the best version of yourself, which is one of my mottos, guys. So focus on being lean first. It would be my number 1. Focused on then like width exercises, like building up your shoulders, building up your back, and just getting some nice like muscle definition in general. You don't need to hop on roids or hop on gear. You just need to be lean and put the fork down. I'm telling you, if you are overweight, and then you lean down, guys, even like, Callie, hit him with it for the millionth time. That picture of me when I lost 30 pounds, like, guys, when I lean down, just walking around the hospital, people would be like, oh man, you look great. You look great. Oh, wow. Like, did you lose weight? And it's kind of like, oh, you know, shit, I didn't realize I was that big. And it kind of like messes with you a little bit, hashtag dysmorphia. But in general, like the compliments started coming in, like your clothes fit better, you feel better, you look better. And it's like, it just starts this chain of positivity that I wish more of you guys would appreciate. Because I know so many of you guys are here from like my PE content and, you know, you just want to be down in a basement like pulling on your D. I'm telling you, there's so much more to life, guys. And guys, women are going to notice things like your body shape, your confidence, your smile, your overall like aura, I think as the kids say. They're going to notice that way before they notice your pee-pee. Well, like, oh, you know, hopefully, I don't know, maybe you're one of those guys sending all kinds of D pics, but anyways. So guys, let me know what you think. You know, I know a lot of people are way more opinionated about like fitness stuff. I want to know what you think. Am I way off my rocker here? Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Once again, guys, you're so much more than the size of your D. Be the best version of yourself, but you are enough just as you are. All right, guys, peace and love.
Dr. Hink got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah. In his office, no stealth, yeah. Pinnacle of that below the belt, yeah. Checks and balance, he's managing. Working miracles, no damage. Got you covered, no panicking. Steady calm. In the clinic, no vanishing. Yeah, with Doc Hink, it's the way back.